Hi guys, it's Temi with YellowSparksJoy. Welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a collection of all my beat handbags. So the Coach beat line was one of my favorite lines ever that Coach has done. Sadly, this line is now currently discontinued. I seriously hope that they're discontinuing it so they can revamp it and bring it out to be even better than before. However, I know there are a number of people that still like this style of bag and are searching for it. So you are still able to find it on the second-hand market. If you check places like Poshmark, Mercari, there's definitely a lot of them out there. There's also some currently available on the Reserve website. I know that for the Coach outlet Canada Reserve website, there are still some of them floating around, and then for other retailers as well, I know I saw some on the bay.com. Saks Fifth Avenue still has some, so I will link as many reliable retailers as I can find in the description box below who have some of these handbags in their different variations still available for sale. For today's video, I'm going to be comparing all four styles. I'm going to be showing you what they have in common, their differences. We're going to be talking about the wear and tear so far since I've had them, and then I'm going to be ranking them from my least favorite to my most favorite one. As usual, all my previous videos on the four different styles will be linked in the description box. Now, I'm going to start with the very first one, which was the very first one I bought and one of the first ones that actually officially launched at Coach retail, and that is the Coach Beat 18. So this is the size 18 bag. This is kind of like the medium size for the entire line. And yeah, so this launched early last year. I want to say in February. Was it last year or 2 years ago? If it wasn't last year, then it was definitely 2 years ago. But this launched at the same time as the Basquiat collection debuted, and one of the bags that I actually went into the store to see was the Beat 18 in the Basquiat version. So in this particular ivory color, but with the Empire artwork on it. Now, they didn't have that at my store at the time. They offered to order it for me, but I declined because I saw this and I fell in love with it, and I ended up buying it, which is a move that I will forever regret and kick myself for, because I really wish that I had bought the ivory Basquiat instead. Like, that's the one my heart was after, but because I wasn't able to see it in store, I didn't want to risk not liking it and then order it and then have to go through returns and all of that. I got this one instead. I really like this one. That's not to say I don't like it at all. I do. It's a very, very beautiful color. I've come to realize that I love the color ivory in clothing, in shoes, in handbags. I think it's just a color that complements my skin tone, and this is ivory. So this is not chalk. Many people confuse it because Coach does a lot of chalk handbags, but this is ivory. So this is the Beat 18 in ivory with rivets, and it does have rivets all over it. I'm not going to go too much into detail because I do have other videos on this bag, but I want to say that this is probably one of my most used handbags in my collection, because this is my designated date night bag. Like, whenever I get dressed, I'm ready to go to dinner, I try on other bags, they never really work. This is just the one I grab because this goes with everything. Even though it's a lighter color, like even with what I'm wearing right now, like it's a perfect match. It's just that versatile for me, and it's small enough to be casual, but then it's also glammed up enough to be dressy, if that makes sense. So it does come with the detachable chain and the detachable top handle as well. It is smooth, genuine glove tan leather, and it comes with all the bells and whistles that Coach handbags come with. This is one of the mid-tier bags, I want to say, that Coach did. Like, I won't put it up there with the Rogues, so this is probably like below that, but definitely one of the good ones. The interior is microfiber lining, and then it also has the shoulder strap. Now, this shoulder strap I've probably never used because it is a pain to take on and off. So can you see the holes and then the snap button there? That's how you do it. So you have to do that every time you want to use the bag, and I don't use it as shoulder carry or crossbody all the time. When I do use it as shoulder carry, I use the chain to carry it on my shoulder. So I hardly ever use, in fact, I have never used this strap before. Instead, I did buy the Basquiat strap in ivory, kind of like as a consolation prize, since I couldn't get the bag. It was sold out when I decided I did want it. So I have the Basquiat strap in ivory. I also have the one in black, but this is the one I use on this bag most of the time. If As a matter of fact, I am going out after this video, and this is probably what I'm going to carry. So this is how I carry the bag, and it goes really well. I absolutely love this combination together. Now, because this is smooth leather, it is prone to scratching. However, this is not the most delicate smooth leather that Coach has ever done. It's definitely not as delicate as the current Bandit shoulder bag, the new Bandit. That one is really delicate. So this one is not scratched at all. As far as wear and tear is concerned, for one of my most used bags, it's actually done very well. I can't see any scratches. I can just see a couple of spots here and there that I can easily wipe off with a damp cloth. That is not an issue. There's no color transfer so far. Everything is looking pretty good. There's no tarnishing on the hardware. I can't see. There's a few hairline scratches on the closure, if you can see that, but apart from that, everything looks pretty good. So I know that the closure of the bead bags is one of the things that many people complain about, because it does have that push button kind of lock, and so closing it is not a problem, but opening it is where many people find it to be problematic. But I really haven't had a problem with mine. I see how it could be made better. So I wish they would revamp the bead line and then change the lock to like the magnetic closure that the new Bandit currently has. I think that would really improve the quality of this bag. Now, in the interior, this is what the layout looks like. Again, many people complain that it's too tight, it's too small. I personally don't mind it because I don't carry much anyway. All my essentials for a date night bag, a dinner bag, all my essentials fit in here perfectly. The only thing I would say I feel they could do better is if they change the microfiber lining to suede or leather. I think it will really take it up a notch. But other than that, the lining looks pretty good. I mean, no smells, no stains, no tears. It's really still in very good condition. And for my most used bag of all the 4 that I have, I'm impressed with how well it has done so far. Let's move on to the second one I bought. I believe the next one I bought was the Beat shoulder bag. So this is the next in size. So this is the regular size shoulder bag, and then this is the 18. So you can see the size difference. It's the exact same construction, the exact same layout, but this is the bigger size and then this is the smaller size. So I bought this last year in December during the Christmas sales or Boxing Day sales, but the second semi-annual sale of the year. So Coach, if you didn't know, Coach Retail has 2 big sales every year. One is June, July, so mid-year, and then another one at the end of the year. So those are the really good times to pick up things that you really wanted, and that's when I bought this one. The minute this bag came out in this Amazon green color, I knew I wanted it, and I waited till it went on sale, and I got it on sale. I think it was about 40% off or 30% off, and I bought it, and I was just so happy. I have, however, not used this one as much because I just feel like it's more of a dressy and elevated bag, maybe because of the color. So maybe I've used it like 5 times in the past year that I've had it or so, but I absolutely love it. Green is my favorite color in a handbag, and this one is so beautiful. Wear and tear wise, apart from it being a little bit dusty because I haven't cleaned it in a while, that's it. I can't even I can't find any scratches on the flap, and I particularly like this one because it is tri-fabric. So it is smooth glove tan leather on the flap, it is pebbled glove tan leather on the rest of the body of the bag, so also on the back, but then on the sides and at the bottom it is suede, which I just think is so beautiful in this gorgeous shade of green. It also has the rivets around, but I do like the fact that it does not have the rivets on the top handle. So for this one, and that's one of the differences, this version has rivets on the top handle, which might be a bit too much for some. I don't mind it, especially because I use it as an evening bag, and so I want it to be more dressy. But this one is plain at the top, it doesn't have the rivets, and so for people who don't want that much extra, this is a perfect combination for them. I know that this particular color was available recently on the Coach Outlet Reserve section on the website. If it's still available, I'll link it below. I know they certainly still have the horse and carriage version, the one with the horse and carriage print in a wine color, so I'll definitely link that below as well. I love it, especially because of the closure here. That's, again, both of them have that closure, the upside down C, which I absolutely love. I think this is one of the best features that the Beat bags have, that upside down C. This is big enough, definitely bigger than this, so if size was a problem, the shoulder bag is definitely better capacity wise. However, because of the layout, it's still very structured, stiff in the sense that the material holds up, but you know, it's a bit soft in other ways as well. So for this bag, I don't use the chain strap. I feel like it's a bit too much. I don't know, maybe because the color is rich enough for me and I just want that color to shine. I don't want the brass hardware to take away from that color. That's just the way I like it, so I don't use the chain strap with it at all. So this is how I use the bag, top handle, and then that's it. I'm good. To me, it just looks a whole lot prettier this way than when you add the strap, because it already has the rivets, right? I don't know, it doesn't bother me on the smaller size, but it kind of bothers me on the big size. That's just me. What do you guys think? But it's still a very beautiful chain. I mean, people will buy this chain on the resale market. And let me just show you the difference in size. The shoulder bag chain is definitely heavier and has a lot more weight than this one. This chain is almost always on my Coach Cassie bag. Now, capacity wise, like I said, is definitely not a problem. If that's an issue for you, definitely go for the bigger one instead of the 18 size. Again, has that suede interior. This is the shoulder strap, the exact same construction as the 18 strap, so I don't use this. Like, I don't even bother. I've never even carried it crossbody. Maybe I will this fall winter, because green is huge for fall winter. Not the shade of green, but hey, I'm gonna rock my green bag anyway. So yeah, very beautiful. Like that pebble leather, can you guys see? Nothing, no scratches. Well, yeah, I haven't used it that much, but it is still beautiful. The interior is still really great, like no tears, nothing. This is a very well made bag, and I don't baby my bag so much, but then I don't use this one so much either. But so far, for a bag that I've had for a year, it's still in pretty good condition. So I bought this one in January. It was still on sale as well. I think I got it for 40% off. Like, the sale had even gotten better, and this was the last one they had in store. It was plain, of course, plain black. Go check my video on the unboxing, I will link that below. And I knew that I always wanted the Beats clutch in black. Like, when I was thinking about how to put my Beats collection together, I knew I wanted the Beats shoulder bag in Amazon green, and I knew that I wanted the Beat clutch in black. So I waited till they went on sale. I waited a little bit too long because it was sold out online, and this was the last one in Canada, and it happened to be in my store. This was the display version. It had some scratches, and I was debating on whether or not I wanted to get this one. I did see one, I think it was on Saks Fifth Avenue recently, so if it's still available, I will link it below. So someone gave me the idea of doing a Coach Create customization on the bag, and I had never done Coach Create before, just because my store doesn't offer it, so I wasn't prone to doing it. I'm also not the type of person that likes embellishment so much on my bag. I really like the bag to shine, and I wanted this black clutch specifically because I wanted an all black clutch. But due to the circumstances, I considered the customization option, and I sent it off to Vancouver. I have a video on that process as well, so you can watch it if you want. And it came back this beautiful, and honestly, I am so happy I took the leap. I'm so happy I decided to do the customization. So the pins did cover up some of the scratches, but you can still see, if you look closely, you can still see this one here. But you know what? It doesn't bother me at all. It's a black bag. It is smooth leather. Smooth leather will scratch over time. So I want to say that this one is the one that shows the most wear, but it's still beautiful. I think because it's black. If it was any other color, I might be more disturbed by the scratches, but because this is black, and honestly, even when I use it, I don't baby it at all. Like, I just throw it anywhere, and like, it's amazing how much I dump this bag everywhere and it's still in this condition. Like, it was scratched at the store, and I don't think I've scratched it anymore since I had it. And this is probably my second most used bag of the entire collection. So it also does come with the chain embellishment as well, but this one is not removable. I have heard that they did a version where the chain was removable on the clutch, but I've never seen it, so I really can't corroborate that. But again, it has the same button closure and the same upside down seat that I love. And then the interior is also microfiber, and you can see the pins, the back of the pins, and it comes with a crossbody strap. Now this, I use crossbody a whole lot, like a lot, and I love it, particularly because of the contrast stitching. That's actually why I wanted this black color, because of that contrast stitching in like a, I think it's like a saffron color or something. That's what I would call it, or a very dark orange, like a papaya or something like that. Yeah. And so this crossbody strap is way easier because it has the doglish clips, and so I wish they had done all their straps this way. I mean, you can modify the strap to put a leash on it. It's very simple. Just buy the clasp from Amazon and then close this loop like that, and then you can attach the clasp here and then attach it to your bag and use it as a crossbody. It's much more convenient to take on and off like that, but I just wish it already came with a clasp. Maybe that's why I use this one more as a crossbody. Maybe it's because of the size. Whatever it is, I enjoy using this bag a lot. Of all the 4 in my collection, this is my second most used one after the ivory in the size 18. So definitely love this one. The capacity, honestly, I would say the capacity is comparable to the size 18. Maybe we'll do a what fits. I don't want this video to be too long. Maybe I'll do a what fits in another video. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, the interior again is clean, nice, no tears, no rips, and I do see some crinkling at the back flap here, you know, from opening the bag and then at the corners. Other than that, the hardware still looks great and shiny. That's one thing about brass. Brass ages very well. I can hardly see any scratches on there at all. I think this is a beautiful bag, and it has done well in the almost 1 year that I've had it. And finally, the last one that I added to my collection is the Beat saddle bag in the color Red Sand. Now, the very first time I saw this collection in store, when I went to look at the Basquiat collection, I saw both of these bags, and then I saw this one in the natural color, and I really liked it. But I ended up buying the Keep bag in natural, and I realized that I like this style more in this natural color, and so I didn't want to buy the saddle bag in the natural again. So I decided that whenever the saddle bag goes on sale, I will buy it in the Red Sand, because I think it was between the natural, the Red Sand, and the ivory. And since I already had this in the ivory, I already had the Keep in natural, I had my Ergo in natural, I decided I'll buy this in Red Sand. And the Red Sand is definitely a beautiful color. Now these are the 4 styles in the entire Beat line. So of all the styles in the Beat line, I think the saddle is the most carefree, the most casual one, because it is a saddle bag. Unfortunately, it is a style that doesn't work for me. I've had one saddle bag before from the Coach outlet. I sold it. I have this saddle bag and I hardly ever use it. It's so sad and heartbreaking for me to say, because this is a gorgeous bag, but I've hardly ever used it, and it will possibly be going up for sale very soon. I think I've made up my mind and I'm going to sell this because I don't use it, and it's not one of those bags that I'm just happy to look at on my shelf. No, it's not one of those bags at all. But so because I have hardly used it, the wear and tear on this is almost non-existent. It is still in very good condition. Again, the upside down C, this one has very few bells and whistles. It's just a very plain, very trusty, I don't know what other adjective to use, but I think it's just a plain old trusty good saddle bag, and that's kind of what I loved about it. Except I just don't use saddle bags as much, and I think it's just the style. So it is, of course, genuine glove tan leather as all the others are. It has the microfiber lining as well. The pocket of this one, the opening is so much bigger. So I think of all the 4 styles, the capacity of the saddle bag will probably be the best because it is a single compartment. Well, it does have this other zip compartment here, but the main compartment is big. It doesn't have that divider like the 18 and the shoulder bag have that makes the capacity smaller. So that, I think, is what is the advantage of the saddle bag, is that that main compartment is big and open. Same thing with the clutch. So the clutch also has that big main compartment, and I think that's what helps with the capacity of the clutch as well. So you can see that main compartment and then just the front slip. So that main compartment really helps you just throw your stuff in and you're good. But for the 18 and for the shoulder bag, the main compartment is divided into two, and that is why these two have a capacity problem. So I wish they all had the same layout as the saddle and the clutch bag. Now, another big plus for the saddle bag is that it has the clips, and so it's easy to put on and off, just like the clutch. So it's looking like the clutch and the saddle bag have a lot of things going in their favor, because of course they are somewhat the more carefree options, and these two came out at the same time. So I'm not going to say that they came out with this, they heard the complaints and then changed the construction with this. I don't think so. I think they planned it that way for some reason. Definitely easier. This is of course an exclusively shoulder use bag, which is how I've used it the very few times. I think maybe I've used it only twice. How I use it. This does not come with a chain option. Of course, you can attach a chain to it if you wanted to. You can embellish it however way you want to. I think because this one is plain, no rivets, no bells and whistles, it's easier to dress up, in my opinion, if you're the type of person who likes to dress up your bag. So that's basically it for this bag. Other than that, it's not a style I use very much. So this is definitely my least favorite and least used bag of the entire Beat collection. So I'm going to put that to one side. That comes in as number 4. For number 3, I would say it has to be this is a tough one. This is a very tough one. For number 3, sorry, it will be the Beat clutch, and that's just because I don't know, just because the other two are I just love the other two more than this. That's not to say I love this one. Like, it's so casual for me. I use it all the time, but at the same time it's so dressy. So to me, I think this is even the most versatile. If you asked me, I would say this is the most versatile of all the 4 styles, but this is my 3rd favorite just because I like the other 2 better. It's my 3rd favorite. It's the most versatile, but it's my 2nd most used, if that makes sense. Now, my 2nd favorite will be this one here. So the Ivory Beat in the size 18. And of all the styles, I think this size 18 bag will probably be the least versatile just because of the capacity issues it has. So I'm not talking about my particular bag. I'm not talking about this ivory one. I'm just talking about the 18 size in general. I think this is the least versatile. It's still a very cute bag, but because of how small the capacity is, how tight the construction is, I think you'd be better off getting this one or the larger size, or the saddle even, if you like the saddle style. So this is my number 2, but this is my number 1 most used of my entire collection, but it is my 2nd favorite of the collection, and it is the last when it comes to versatility. So I think everything has its place. So yeah, and I hope you guys understand my ranking and my scoring. I hope I'm not being too complicated here, but yeah. And finally, number 1 will be the large Beat shoulder bag, and this is probably my 3rd most used because it definitely ranks higher than this one when it comes to use, but lower than the other 2 when it comes to use. And that's just because I just think it's a beautiful bag. I don't want to use it, I just don't want to use it at any occasion. I don't want to use it as a casual bag. I really want to, you know, I just want to save it for really special occasions. I think I have the same problem with this bag as I have with my Alma BB. There's just some bags that when I place them on a pedestal in my head, I just don't use them often because it just, for me to use them, it has to be like a special occasion for me, which is why this one is not as used as I would like it to be, but it is my favorite bag of the entire collection. When it comes to versatility of all the four, this big one will probably rank as number 3 just because of the capacity issues and the layout, that middle compartment that makes it a bit tight. But other than that, these are my 4 beauties. These are the 4 styles of the beat line that Coach Retail did, but which are now discontinued, and I'm so happy that I was able to get all 4. Honestly, when I decided that I love this collection, my goal was that I was going to buy all four styles that were part of the collection. That's much better. That was my goal, and I'm happy I was able to achieve it. I have each style that they ever made in the exact combination that I wanted, except for this one because I wanted the Basquiat. But still, now I've come to the realization that I don't like saddlebags, and it's going to hurt me to let go of this one, because then that means my collection won't be complete anymore. But I don't know. Yeah, that is it. If there's anything else you want to see about the big collection, if there's any question you have, please leave your questions below in the comment section. If you want a part 2, if there's more you want me to show about the bags, let me know. I'm always happy to come back and do a second video on all my big bags. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you're subscribed to my channel. If you aren't already, please subscribe and click the tiny notification bell beside the subscribe button so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.